that we should gravitate to. Oh my. Let me go further. Before I go to that last part. God, let me finish the last part in verse 16. But watch what he does. He talks about they left him, they forsook him, they deserted him, but he goes in prayer. He goes into prayer. He says, I pray God, and from the King James, I pray God that it may not be laid, watch it, that it may not be laid to their charge. He could get upset. But the God that is in him does not allow him to charge them and does not allow God to charge them. He prays that God doesn't charge them. He prays for them who left him. We should gravitate to that. He does not get upset. It shows nowhere there that he gets upset. He says, I pray to God that God does not lay it to their charge. Let me read it from New King James. Basically the same thing. I ain't going to read it, it's the same thing. What about you? You can remember that. I like that better. He prays that it may not be counted against me. Because they have left me by myself, I pray that it is not counted against them. Isn't that something? And God does not hold it against him. Wow. Here's what he also prays. He said that God forgive them for forsaking me. If I'm not going to hold it against him, I pray that God doesn't hold it against him. That's a teaching. Verse number 16 is a teaching tool right here. Mm-hmm. Right here. If I'm going to forgive him, I pray that God forgives him as well. I'm not going to hold it against him. I'm not going to charge them against them. Because I forgive them. We're going to see in verse 16, 17, another teaching tool too. I'm going to show you another thing. Let me show you this. He says he prays that God will forgive them and that God will have mercy on them that deserted him. Again, he does not hold it against him. And he prays that God does not hold it against him either. Wow. Wow. And so through him saying this and praying this, he prays that God will strengthen them. Literally. Yes, ma'am.
I was going to ask who was he talking about, but I remember that there were those who he sent away.
Yes. Yes.
But then I just remember there were the ones that did.
Yes.
That's what he's talking about.
Yes. Absolutely. Good question. Good question. Yes. 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 Now, what? Anybody know that's on 16 before I go to 17? We're in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 16. Shortly going to go to 17. Nobody on 16? Okay.
My only question is, who are the ones that left and stuff? I'm not there yet.
You want me to go back? Okay, hold on a second.
I just want to know some of those who left him so I can be, because everyone that he's talked about, he's given name to, and even those he's also allowed to come back in if they came back to his teachings like the brothers.
Yes. Yes. Now, one of them, you go back to verse number 10. Demas was one of them who forsook him. If you go back verses after that, he talks about Luke was the only one with me, which was the physician. And then he sends for Timothy and John Mark. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. So he sends for those persons, but everybody else left him. Yeah. So he had to send for them brothers Only one really literally volunteered was Luke. And we find out Luke was his physician
Yes.
because of his physical ailments. Yes. Yeah, he said, only Luke is with me. Yeah. And so everybody else is thinking, we go back to all these other persons. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just noticing by not naming them, like if you name people, people hold stuff against them, you know? But if he's like, this person forsook me, don't hold it against him, but gave you a name, you still are thinking, oh yeah, that guy didn't, you know? But if you don't name them,
Nobody knows who it is.
right, it's like not, or it's just not specific enough to put it in their mind like that. It's so forgiving.
Yeah. Although he does talk about demons. Then if we go back to other verses, he talks about other persons who does. But in this verse number 16, and I'm saying that it doesn't say that. It's just me talking what I'm going to say. And hopefully forget who he said before,
Right.
so that other people won't hold it against them, because he's not holding it against them. Yeah, because he said that he forgives them because he forgives them. Yes, because sometimes we talk about people and say they forsook me. We tell I tell Deacon Jada, and so about that, and then later on, I say don't charge against me. But he said, well, you talked about them, and so I'm kind of holding against you. But he's showing it that it's a thing about a spirit of forgiveness. And we'll show something in verse 17 in a moment. Your hand up again?
Yeah, I got a question about it.
Oh, wow.
Do you think that it is also maybe the reason that everybody forsook him? He had understanding for that because the verse before that he's going, this guy did me a lot of harm and may he be repaid according to his works. But these guys just don't even hold that against them because, like, maybe, I don't know, spiritually the atmosphere, he didn't expect them to stand in that much weighty or something like that.
I'm going to go back to Acts chapter 9, verse 16. Ananias tells Paul that you're going to suffer many things for my name's sake. So you'll go through some stuff. He never really tell him what you're going to go through. He said he's going to suffer. So Paul being Paul, maybe, it doesn't say, maybe, he may be saying, well, I got this, maybe one of the things I got to go through. Hey, I already been told beforehand, I got to go through this. And if I go to, like I talked about last week, to 2 Corinthians, I think it's chapter 12, when Paul goes to God and asks 3 times that this thorn may be taken from him. But God's reply back said, notice he doesn't say this, but I'm just thinking like to say it like this. You notice I told you in Acts 9:16 that you're going to suffer many things for my name's sake? He goes in to 2 Corinthians chapter 12. He says, but my grace is sufficient. Then he goes on in the same chapter. He said, when I'm weak, then am I strong. I'm going through this stuff. But hey, I was already beforehand told it, and his grace is sufficient for me. I'll show you in a minute. I got to go to 70 because then I can give you the answer to that, basically. Basically what I was just saying. In Matthew 16, before I go to 17? Okay, watch number 7. Watch verse number 17. From the King James first. He says, notwithstanding, the Lord stood with me. Notwithstanding, the Lord stood with me. Watch what else he says. Watch this. Hold on, before I go further. He goes in 16. Everybody else leaves him. But in 17 he says, withstanding, the Lord was with me. Everybody else left me, but God didn't leave me.
Right.
Everybody else deserted me, but God didn't desert me. Watch what else he says. He says, withstanding, the Lord was with me, and watch what he does. Watch what the Lord does. And strengthens me. When I should be weak because everybody's left me, I see that God's with me. And as God is with me, he's giving me strength.
Yeah.
Now, I want to say something. Notice he's writing this letter, And he's in prison. Anybody know where he's at in prison? He writes this letter. He's in prison, but where's he at?
Disciples.
Huh? Notice he tells Timothy to leave Ephesus to come to him and bring John Mark with you. Where is he at? Say it loud. Hello, talk to me somebody. He's in Rome. He's in a Rome prison. And it is strange. He's on lockdown. Everybody leaves him. And he prayed for them who left him that the Lord would not charge them. Led to their charge. He has God forgiven him because he's already forgiven him. He said, the Lord was stood with me and he has given me strength.
But Paul is not, excuse me, I mean, just jump right in here, but Paul's not in prison now, is he? Wait a minute, I thought he was visiting Timothy and giving Timothy all this information.
Timothy's visiting him.
Timothy, and see, when I first started hearing Timothy with you guys, I thought it was Paul.
It's all good. It's all good. Because notice he sends, asked Timothy to come and said, bring John Mark with you. Because he is useful to me.
Well, I thought Paul got out of prison. The guy came down here and the shackles fell off and the doors opened up and he went out.
That's in Acts chapter 16.
So he's back in prison again.
Yes, ma'am. This is what's happening. He would get out, he got out of there, but he went back on lockdown.
Okay.
And there were a number of times he was on lockdown because he was preaching. Because people did not like his preaching. Yeah, like I said, it was all the time because that was part of his suffering. Him preaching the gospel to the Gentiles, people did not like it, especially the Jews, did not like it, so they put him on lockdown, threw him in prison. But guess what? Paul said, don't worry. Don't let that charge God. Look what type of servant he was that could help us out. We could gravitate just like he did. You got Sister Jones?
I'm here.
Okay. And that's why he says, even though I'm on lockdown, the Lord does give me strength, and he withstood with me. He stands by me. He doesn't desert me as everybody else does. I'm in prison on lockdown. But God on lockdown is giving me strength. Because on lockdown, you can get discouraged. On lockdown, you get disappointed. And on lockdown, you get depressed. You be oppressed on lockdown. But God, he lets us know that God is with me. And basically saying, that's all I need. That's all I need. Well, I won't like that. Anybody on that point? We'll go to the next part. Okay. The next part of verse number 17. Now watch this. Now I'm going to show y'all something. He said the Lord is giving me strength. Now watch the next thing. Watch why he gives him strength. God is not going to just give him strength just to give him strength. There's a purpose for him giving him strength. Watch this. He says, that by me, the preaching might be fully known through my preaching. Now watch this. Sister George, he's in prison. We said that the preaching might be fulfilled. He's preaching from a prison cell. His writings, all these writings we read tonight and in the past, and he wrote over half of the New Testament, all of it was his writings from prison. And he preached from prison. He had, the prison, watch this, George, the prison was his pulpit.
Wow.
He has no left turn to stand behind. Where he stands behind is a prison jail cell or behind bars. And watch this, it does not faze him and it does not stop him, it does not cause him to be delusional. He keeps on preaching from a jail cell. And many folk came to Christ, many Gentiles came to Christ.
And that was his purpose.
That was his purpose. His whole ministry, watch this, Paul was a what, y'all? What nationality was he?
He's a Jew.
He was a Jew. Here's a Jew preaching to the Gentiles. He was criticized by the Apostle Peter because he was preaching to the Jews. And so Paul had to get him straight. Basically he said, my assignment is the Gentiles. That I may bring the Gentiles to Jesus Christ. Wow. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Well, it even says right here, the next part it says in King James, he says, and that all the Gentiles, watch it, that all the Gentiles might hear. He gave me strength to preach the gospel, that it will be fulfilled in my preaching, fully known in my preaching, that all the Gentiles may hear the preaching of God's word. Wow. Now, here comes something that's kind of going to be, I'm going to ask you a question about. He says, last part of verse number 17, he says, and I was delivered out of the mouth of the lion. What is he talking about? I was delivered out of the mouth of the lion. I'm asking you like this. Was he literally talking about a lion or was he talking about something else?
Something else. Something else.
Because when you read it, it leads us to understand that he's literally talking about a lion. But is he really? You say no? What's he talking about? Oh, that's one of them. That's correct.
At one point, Peter pictured Satan as a lion.
Uh-huh.
And that's just them trying to do what they're trying to do, is just to work for Satan.
Okay. Sister Lisa, your hand was up?
Well, yeah, it kind of sounded to me like in the context that it's talking about when everybody deserted him, that he was kind of like being eaten by a lion, but God delivered him out of the situation by strengthening him in. But at the same time, I'm also thinking of how he used to kill Gentiles, and like then he has to go minister to them, and he was really delivered out of a big thing. But it's an interesting ministry to have to go back to those people after you're saved that you used to murder and now tell them they need Jesus and be anointed to where they hear it. So I don't know what exactly he was delivered from is what I guess I'm saying. A few different things maybe.
Yes, what? Actually, this part of the verse can mean several different things. He talked about danger was one of them. He also talked about what Peter said, and I'll talk about it in a moment, was the devil. Anybody else? Got a thought? What are you talking about when you make this statement?
I think it's a figure of speech.
Aha. Talk to me right there.
Just a figure of speech.
That's
Not
exactly.
actually the lions
Hmm?
per se, I think people won't say that, but it's people, it's those that he encountered along the way.
That's the question you need to ask the text. Because is it a figure of speech? Or is it literally talking about the lion? But it's actually talking about a figure of speech. He was delivered from the devil, was one of them. This thing moved a lot of ways. One was the devil. He was delivered from the devil. The other was he was delivered from the Emperor Nero. He was found guilty. Now wait a minute. How you gonna be found guilty? And you ready to do nothing preaching? That's what he's found. Exactly. That was what he's found guilty of. Preaching the gospel. They did not notice Alexander, the coppersmith, fought against him preaching the gospel. His message. Actually, he hadn't Timothy's message. He did not want to hear it. And we're in that day and time right now in the 21st century church. People do not want to hear the gospel. Because the gospel will tell them right where they're at. They don't want to hear that. And so he was delivered from the Emperor Nero and all these, the devil, all these things. He was delivered from. What you saying, Pastor Rosa?
Oh, no, I was just thinking myself.
He went through hearings, trials. They were going to court, and they were just testifying against him because he was preaching the gospel. You know something? He didn't hurt nobody, he didn't kill nobody, he didn't shoot nobody. What he did was preach the gospel. He goes to prison. But God gives him strength to do what he does. Done. He gives him strength. Give him strength. What everybody else left him. God has given and had given him strength.
You could say that in that last part, the mouth of the lions also will be, and then he probably already said it, out of the hands of his enemies.
Yes.
Whoever his enemies were, he was delivered.
Mm-hmm. Now, watch this. You just said the word delivered. He's delivered, but he's still in prison.
You can be delivered even in your, wherever you are surrounded. If you're surrounded, you can still be delivered. And yet still be in, let me see how to, oh, God. Even though he was in prison, he was still delivered spiritually.
Okay.
Spiritually, he wasn't bound spiritually. He might have been bound in prison, but spiritually he was just as free as he could be. Free as a bird.
Okay.
Go back.
And let me add to yours, what you just said. He's on lockdown. He's in confinement. Physically. But spiritually he's delivered. He has the freedom to still preach the gospel. Even on lockdown, he's still free and he still has victory. Because being on lockdown can cause you to be physically or spiritually, as well as physically, spiritually on lockdown. Mm-hmm. Being on confinement of doing what you're supposed to be doing, what you have to do, what God's given you to do, you can be on lockdown there. But he said, I am locked down physically, but I'm not locked down spiritually. I am still going to preach the gospel and have liberty to preach it. And watch it and be happy about it. Mm-hmm. The enemy, that's why he says, I'm delivered from the devil. The devil could have me being depressed because I am in prison and have me so depressed that I cannot preach the gospel and have the liberty to preach the gospel. No, I'm free. God has spiritually given me freedom to preach, and I'm going to be happy about it. We talk about laughter, and I'm going to laugh about it. You think you got it? But God has given me liberty to preach the gospel, even in prison. Anybody else on verse number 17? Okay, let's go to 18. 18 says this. He's going to get, watch it, he's going to talk about deliverance in verse number 18. the 8th verse of verse 18, he starts with deliverance. Listen what he says. And the Lord shall deliver me from every evil work. He used the word in the King James, shall. The word shall is a definite. Make no mistake about it, God will deliver me from every evil work. Not some work, but he says every. The word every means all. Every evil work that comes up against me, I am going to be delivered. Every evil work. Watch this. In other words, he said, every sinful plan against me, I'm going to be delivered. Another way to say it is, will deliver me from every wicked act. Every wicked act, he will rescue me. He has confidence and knowing that God will deliver him. Why? Because he's had evidence in the past of God delivering him before. And if God did it before, he showed him do it again. Amen on this portion of verse 18? We'll go further. Okay, watch the next part. He says, and will preserve me and will keep me unto his heavenly kingdom. He's going to keep me. Unto his heavenly kingdom. And that's, in other words, as I'm doing kingdom work, God is going to preserve me. As I do kingdom work, kingdom building, kingdom edifying the kingdom, and adding to the kingdom, and my preaching, souls are coming to the kingdom. Oh, my. God is going to deliver me. It reminds me of the book of Isaiah. Isaiah says, no weapon formed against me shall, what? Come on, talk to me, somebody. Shall not prosper. Because God is with me. God is with me. The last part of verse 18, he says, to whom, watch this. All this is going on, but guess who he's giving glory to? He says, he gives glory to God forever and ever. In other words, may God always get the glory. May God always get the honor. May God always be exalted. It's him that I live and move and have my being, even on lockdown. Using it? Oh. Huh? Have you what? All right. You are. Yeah. He says, through my life, God will be glorified. Through my life, God will be honored. Through my life, God will be exalted through my life. Wow. Watch this from the New American Standard. Read verse 19, please. No, read the verse, please.
It says, the Lord will rescue me from every evil deed and will bring me safely to his heavenly kingdom.
Oh, something. New American says he would bring me safely to his heavenly kingdom. Safely. It means there's going to be no harm toward me. Go ahead.
To him be the glory forever and ever. Amen.
To him be glory forever and ever. Amen. It means it is well. It is well. Anybody on 19 before I go to 20? Huh? It was 18, 19, let's go to 19. Yes, okay. And basically 19 through 22 is really greetings. And I don't dwell too much on that, but I will talk about verse 19.